But instead of complaining, take that energy and direct it into studying, back testing, taking the information that you see that's already happened, pull it out of the charts, record it, and it's there. And it'll encourage you that it keeps repeating it over and over and over again. Now you're doing one little piece of something. You're doing 1/8 of what's going to be a full model, and you're doing better than your fucking job with the least amount of leverage. How encouraging is that? You're not even given the full move. You're just getting in there, getting 10 points of it, and then that's it. Pull out. Done. Hit it and quit it. Done. Then you get to see, was that a good move for free? He doesn't stop you out with a loss, and he never moves his stop loss. How's that? He doesn't need to. It's either going to run or it's not. If he hits a loss, he's stopping for the day. He's not going to go on a major drawdown. And you're sitting around doubting. All this evidence around you, all this shit around you. People outside of my own family, different walks of life, they're bringing the receipts and the results. They're doing it. Why are you sitting on the fence? Wasting your fucking time. You're wasting it. There's no reason for you to waste any more time. Get to work. Start back testing. Encourage yourself. Because even if you do half of what my son is doing, I promise you, you're doing better than 99% of everybody else in trading. And that's not an exaggeration at all, because most people can't even make any money. If you just made $800 a week, fuck it, $400 a week. Most people can't consistently do that. They can't hold themselves to a process or a model. The only way you can do that is small little baby steps in the beginning. Don't put an expiration date on your success. I have to have it by this time or it's a failure. Don't have extraordinary results as the only acceptable result. That's what I was trying to do. Once I started seeing I could make money, I set so high of a goal that it pushed me into blowing the accounts all the time. That's exactly what I was doing. I was doing that very thing. And I was abandoning the simple things of just taking the trades I knew that were going to be there. And I tried to squeeze more out of them. You can't make a dog be more than what it is. It's a dog. It's going to run and behave like a dog. In every one of my trades, I try to demand them to be a dragon, a beast of mythological proportion. And when it didn't deliver, I looked at it as I'm never going to be able to do this. I'm never going to be able to do this. When all I was doing everything backwards and asking of my models, which were very limited at the time, to do what they couldn't do. And I couldn't see it for that. And don't waste your time trying to force things in through these candlesticks. And don't focus so much on how much time you got left. As long as you're working every day, working towards progressing, moving forward, you'll get there. You'll get there sooner than you thought. Once you get there, and the time you're spending right now, it might feel daunting and too laborious. Won't be so much like that when you look back on it. Everything seems so much further in front of you when you're trying to get there. The first time, it's always a long journey. It's that little kid in the back seat syndrome. We're there yet? That's that little child in you that's the trader that's going to be who you are. They're excited. There's nothing wrong with that excitement. Don't kill that energy, but you have to nurture it and properly train it. Say, okay, we're getting there. It's just a little bit longer. We have to keep doing what we're doing. Keep looking through the windshield forward. We're getting every closer. Keep looking. Tell me when we get to the Burger King sign. Tell me when you distract them. Small little incremental progressive milestones. And it takes attention away from the grander scheme. And that's all I've done with Camden. I've taken his attention from feeling like he can't get to that 20-30 handle run model right now because he can't see. How do you know? How do you know? How do you know? Time, experience, doing it. You want me to be able to tell you something, and it's just like a secret recipe, and it's the fact that you have to roll your sleeves up and submit yourself to this process all the time. And eventually, at what time, at what stage in your development, you're going to have that epiphany where it clicks for you, like, oh shit, oh, I've been complicating this the whole time. If I just would have just did this and not worried about all this other stuff, I would have been able to be here in a place of contentment a lot sooner. And imagine the peace of mind that brings when you don't have to do more than what's comfortable for you. And who gives a fuck what anybody else thinks about it? You're paying your bills, you're meeting your ends, you're content. You don't have any fear of missing any moves. You don't have any fucking greed. Your model says, I'm making $1,000. When I make it, I stop for the day. Who's going to complain about that? You're probably not making $1,000 in 3 months trading right now. Start small, build on it. I'm more concerned about watching where price is going than that of protecting the fact that I might get stopped out and have a losing trade. Now, that's number one rule always, preservation of capital, but clout and saving face publicly is the number one rule for most people on social media today. They don't want to do anything that might be viewing them outwardly from the outside perspective. Other ones that we be looking at you or them could be very judgmental. And that is many more times costly and expensive and painful than that of a losing trade that you would have done in the privacy of your own, trading without making your results public. And there are lots of folks right now that are wrestling right now because they want to stand out. They want to shake their sword and stand up and rattle rouse. And they're hanging around in break even and or in drawdown. Only one quote unquote profitable day for the entire month so far. And they're the loudest to talk. And they'll tell you that you're not going to hear sound good advice here when I execute on the sound good advice that I teach. So when you watch a video by me, okay, consider how much information I have on the chart because it's pertinent to you getting the higher time frame perspective. Everything that's salient, unless I'm doing like, what do you see? Like I'm zeroed in on a small little segment of a price fractal at that time. But when I'm doing a trade and I'm managing the trade, I'm allowing you to see all of the information that I believe that would be useful to you because I teach grading price swings. You want to be able to go back and look at the dealing range that I'm operating in. And if you have a phone or if you have your charts on your laptop or your computers and if you have multiple monitors, if you're so zoomed in that you can only see a small little segment of price action, how can you fully trust what you're seeing on the next few candles is going to be something that is limiting your trade or putting a cap on it prematurely because you're so zoomed in, you're losing sight of something that would be a longer term objective. Now, I learned that lesson very painfully and costly, losing trades that were winners, holding on to really good trades too long because I had my charts zoomed in too tight. And over years and years and years of just saying, I got to take a step back from this and seeing the charts better than I do now. Well, not better than I do now, but better than I did then. I'd see it now better because I allow for more information. And also, and I mentioned this several times in my discussions and lectures and even on Twitter spaces, periodically when you're in a trade, especially if you feel like you're second guessing it, like if you're in a trade, it's moved and you just don't know for sure it's going to keep running, step away from your chart. Put your laptop maybe on a coffee table or dining room table. Take a little bit of a distance between you and it and look at it further away. put more data on the chart, and then kind of get a feel for where you are at that moment. Many times it'll give you a different perspective, and you'll see, if you understand how to read price action, you'll see that what you're fearful of, because you're so zoomed in and you're watching that 1 or 5 minute chart and it's fluctuating around a lot because it's zoomed in, and it's causing your brain to pump out this adrenaline and or up to the point of releasing cortisol, which is a stressful hormone. In the last Twitter space, I talked about managing anxiety attacks and panic attacks. And when you're in trades, whether they're profitable or losing, you're pumping chemicals constantly into your bloodstream. And if you are not used to that incurred risk while trading, it can cause you to be, well, number one, emotional, psychologically, amped up, and you're going to make something that is very insignificant paramount. It's going to be a huge thing when it isn't. And typically, for those that want to use a stop loss correctly, we're not concerned about ramming up the stop real quick to lock in anything, because we're allowing the market to move around and gyrate. And you watched the trade this morning that I had a very specific fair value gap that I did not.
Traders, you will not believe this. There's just one piece of information missing for you to start making your dream income from trading. Well, this is it. I'm not even going to make you wait for it. Do not.
Oh,